Working, I believe, test one. Yep, mics are working.
Good evening. We're going to start the meeting. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, and thank you to those who have come this evening, and thank you for those who are watching on video. So we're going to start with the approval of the minutes, which is 2.1, motion approving the March 12th, 2025 minutes of the regular meeting of the town board.
So moved.
Thank you, Sue. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. And it's unanimous. And we'll move on to the bid openings. North Main Street, Stage Road and Commercial Drive pavement rehabilitation bids were open 3/14/2025 at 2 p.m. in the town boardroom. Deputy Town Clerk Sarah Maney and Town Engineer Vern Myers opened the sealed bid. The first one is L&T Construction, 145 Paddick Road, Richmondville, New York. And the bid was $581,620.55. The second one is Bothar Construction, 170 East Service Road, Binghamton, New York. And it's $367,300.00. And the third one is Broom Bituminous Products Incorporated, P.O. Box 354, Vestal, New York. And their bid was $307,792. So those were the bids. So we'll move on to the public hearings. We have 3 this evening. The first one is for proposed local law A of 2025, which is revisions to the town code of the town of Vestal, chapter 4, animals and section 24-726, which is noise. So I'm going to read the public notice and then the seeker. So the legal notice is proposed local law A of the year 2025. Public notice is hereby given that there has been presented to the town board of the town of Vestal, New York, proposed local law A of the year 2025 entitled Revisions to the Code of the Town of Vestal, Chapter 4, Animals, and Section 24-726, Noise. Please take further notice that the environmental significance of said proposed local laws will be reviewed by the Vestal Town Board of the Town of Vestal, incident to and as a part of said public hearing. Copies of said proposed local laws are available for review at the Town of Vestal Clerk's office. Therefore, pursuant to statute, the Town Board of the Town of Vestal will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid local law at 6 p.m. on March 26, 2025 at the Vestal Town Hall, 605 West Vestal Parkway West, Vestal, New York. At that time, all interested persons will be heard, and that was dated on March 19th, 2025. And issued by Deborah Wallace, Vestal Town Clerk. Thank you. So we're going to move on to the seeker for local law A. So,
You're going to.
okay, thank you. We'll do the public hearing first then. With that, we're going to open the public hearing. Does any member of the public wish to speak on this topic? Okay, with that, we're going to close the public hearing. Thank you. And we're going to move on to the seeker. Thank you, Dan. Okay. So based upon a thorough review and examination of the known facts relating to the action and its careful review of all potentially adverse environmental impacts and the entire record and proceedings relating to the action as of the date of the adoption of this resolution, including but not limited to information included on the project's short environmental assessment form, parts 1, 2, and 3, information provided by the applicant, involved and interested agency input, and public input. The board finds that the action will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment and that a draft environmental impact statement will not be prepared. So can I have a motion approving a negative declaration as to seeker, as there are no large or significant environmental concerns identified with regard to this permit application?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it's unanimous. So with that, we're going to vote on the law, correct? Okay, so we're going to go back to. We have a motion on the proposed local law A of 2025 revisions to the code of the town of Vestal, chapter 4, animals, and section 24-726 noise. You have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And it's carried unanimously. And so we're going to move on to our second hearing this evening. The second hearing is on proposed local law B of 2025, increasing the income threshold for senior exemption under RPLTL section 467. So we're going to read the public notice first. So the legal notice is proposed local law B of the year 2025. Public notice is hereby given that there has been presented to the town board of the town of Vestal, New York, proposed local law B of the year 2025 entitled Increasing the Income Threshold for the Senior Exemption under RPTL Section 467. Copies of said proposed local law are available for review at the town of Vestal Clerk's office. Therefore, pursuant to statute, the town board of the town of Vestal will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid local law at 6 p.m. on March 26, 2025 at the Vestal Town Hall, 605 Vestal Parkway West, Vestal, New York. At that time, all interested persons will be heard. And that was dated March 19th, 2025. And once again, issued by our town clerk, Deborah Wallace. Thank you. So with that, we're going to open the public hearing on it. Does any member of the public wish to speak on this topic? Okay, with that, we will close the public hearing and we're going to move for a vote. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would like to clarify. I'm looking at the
Okay.
local law we were sent.
Okay, so we'll move
And-
to discussion.
It shows an effective date.
So we're going to, so do we need to withdraw our vote?
We did already vote.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have stopped for discussion. No, I didn't know there was going to be a question. So do you want to withdraw the vote temporarily and allow for discussion? Sue, you good?
Good.
Okay, so we will do that. So,
Sorry, Deborah, I had in my head, yes.
yeah, I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll move back to the discussion and I apologize, Glenn.
And I just want to make sure this is clear.
Mhm.
I'm looking at an effective date. It says the local law shall take effect immediately, but shall not apply to any real property taxes levied by the town of Vestal prior to March 1st, 2026. I'm not sure how that becomes effective immediately if it's prior to 2026.
Because the deadline for new applications has passed. We explored the idea of extending the deadline,
Mhm.
and the assessor was willing to do that.
Mhm.
But the problem became that if you do that, then you have to reconsider all of the already submitted new ones as
Okay.
well as the old ones. And so because it's not just a set yes or no, you get this discount, this exemption, it's a graduated level. So they can fall into different percentages. So every application, anybody who receives the exemption, and it can go anywhere from 50% up to, I think, 5%. So they might move that category. So they're now in the process of completing or trying to make this year's roll call, assessment roll call. And so they have a lot of work on their hands.
Okay.
So to go back and revisit all these applications and review the ones that were renewed and submitted and go and make sure that everything is fair to everybody is literally impossible.
Okay. Can I?
Go ahead, yes.
I don't have a mic, but I'll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I got two mics. Thank you. But to your specific question, I think mine was, how can it be immediately effective and then be effective? And that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
It has to be effective immediately. Once we pass it, this law is in effect, okay? Applicants will be submitting their applications for exemptions January, February. It just can't be effective March 1st, 2026, because it's going to be too late for people to apply for the exemption prior to that time. This law, and this is very common that you pass a law, it's effective immediately, but this is just a clarification that, look, it's not going to affect, it's not going to affect this year's March 1 date. It's got to affect next year's March 1 date as far as applicants are concerned.
Okay, so in 2025 has already been submitted because the deadline was March 1st. Is that right? Okay, so 2026 is the same deadline, March 1st.
Always March 1st.
Oh, it's March 1st.
So next year, when people apply, this law is in effect.
Correct.
And will apply. Oh, it won't, I see, apply to any property taxes levied by the town. We won't have levied them yet.
Right.
Okay, I get it. I follow now.
Okay.
Just want to make sure, because if I'm not clear, I'm not the only one, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the good thing is that now we'll have the opportunity to make everybody aware of the different,
Mhm.
the higher income. So the people who might qualify now would be aware and can plan to submit for next year. So
Right,
we're gonna
right.
do some, now that we have the website, we can do an article on there, we can, and then when it gets closer next year, we can do a press release, we can do the whole gamut, because we want to make sure that everybody who qualifies is
Mhm.
aware of it and can submit in time.
Right,
So-
right. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you to everybody else for your patience.
Okay.
Okay, so
No.
are you,
I'll make a motion.
thank you. So we're gonna move to a vote. And thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Hi.
Okay, great. Any opposed? Okay, so it's unanimous. Thank you. So that's carried. So we're going to move to the third hearing for this evening. Okay, so the third hearing is for proposed local law C of 2025. A local law to repeal a portion of local law 1 of the year 2023 of the Vestal Town Code pertaining to residency requirements for the Office of Controller. So the legal notice is proposed local law C of the year 2025. Public notice is hereby given that there has been presented to the Town Board of the Town of Vestal, New York, proposed local law C of the year 2025, entitled a local law to repeal a portion of local law 1 of the year 2023 of the Vestal Town Code pertaining to residency requirements for the Office of Controller. Copies of said proposed local laws are available for review at the Town Vestal Clerk's office. Therefore, pursuant to statute, the Town Board of the Town of Vestal will hold a public hearing at the aforesaid local law at 6 p.m. on March 26, 2025 at the Vestal Town Hall, 605 Vestal Parkway West, Vestal, New York. At that time, all interested persons will be heard. And that was dated March 19th, 2025. And again, issued by our town clerk, Deborah Wallace. So with that, we're going to move to open the public hearing. Does anybody, any member of the public wish to make a statement in regards to this local law? Okay, so we're going to close the public hearing and we're going to move for a vote. So can I have a motion on the local law C of 2025?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And all in favor?
Aye.
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 And any opposed? And it's carried unanimously. Thank you. Okay, as we just mentioned before, I just want to bring up in my supervisor's updates that we do have a new town website. And I want to thank all of our in-house personnel. We had point people from each department who have been working on not only learning the new system, but to update the information that they have on it. And some departments have really done a fantastic job, and everybody's done a great job. So we had a website, as anybody who's been to our website previously, that really didn't function very well. And many things didn't function on it. It was frustrating for residents, and it was very frustrating for our own personnel who wanted to get information out to people, and they wanted people to find the things that they needed. So we worked on this, as if you've been following the board meetings, we searched out a company to help us with establishing the new website. And then we've been working for a number of months on it. So there's a lot of new things on the website. First of all, it is user-friendly. You can get almost everything from the main page. You should be able to find everything really easily. And there are links to everything again. So when you go to the website, there's pull downs and there's buttons at the bottom. It's pretty simple. We were also able to put pictures up, which I want to thank all of our town personnel for finding those pictures for us so that we can start making it more visually appearing as well. But looking good is not what we were after. We wanted to be able to talk to our residents better, and we wanted to make sure that our residents were able to talk to us better. Not only that, but we have tons of information for people, and all of our personnel want to get it out there, and it just wasn't possible before. So now on the website, there's going to be all kinds of information all the time. There's different sections. So there's not only documents, so there's town board meeting minutes. There's an easy link to our videos, so you can watch the videos anytime that you want. There's links to the different committees minutes if you want to look at planning or you want to look at the other committees. So you can see what's going on in different parts on different topics. But there's different parts of the website. So there's not only documents and informationals, but there's different sections, including the latest news, where something new and different we can tell you about. So a couple of new things that they just put on and they wanted to make people really aware of. Our recreation department had their first latest news up there when they put out some thank yous and they put out one of their events. And then we had our highway department start with theirs. So they put out an informational because Jensen Road had to be closed this week from Tuesday to Friday. And our highway people work so hard on the roads. And our residents, I've never heard anybody who didn't really appreciate that. But our biggest ask always was when people talk to us is, can we just know beforehand? We just want to know because we have to get our traffic around. We'll make our plans. If we have to go a different route, that's fine. And so this new capability makes it possible. We not only can put in the latest news, and we have articles on up and coming things, but we have an app. So anybody who wishes to can go on their cell phone, download, everything is free, by the way, either for an Android or an iPhone, download the app, and you can either go to the website. It gives you different parts of the website. You can go to the full website access. But the app itself is meant for the latest news. But you can also sign up when you first download it. You can sign up for alerts from different departments. So the departments you can choose from different categories. You can choose from 1 or 2 or all of them. So you can sign up for emergency alerts. So if something really, really timely happens, you can get alerted through your phone. For the police department, up and coming events, if there's things going on in Vestal, either given on from the town or something that is non-commercial, that is a fun thing in Vestal. The youth programs, our recreation department has so much going on all the time. So if you wish to hear from them, if you have kids or you want to be involved in that way, you can get alerts from them. Plan construction. Everybody who signed up for the plan construction notification, they got a push notification through their phone to tell them about Jensen Road. And then the last one is the town board meeting minutes. So if you wish to, I know it was texted before, you can get it through your phone if you choose to. So we really ask, please go onto the website, look around. There's going to be a lot more things. It's still a work in progress. We're still expanding upon it. We're going to have things to do in Vestal. We're going to be posting about festivals and concerts and the museum, specific events, but also articles about everyday workings. And then soon, eventually, we're going to expand to non-commercial things. We can't promote any businesses and we will not do that. However, our community is what we seek to, we want our residents to feel a part of our community. And if you know what's going on, then you can come to events. Our people work really, really hard to put these things on, and they really want people to know about it. You can pick and choose what you want to do, engage as much as or as little as you want. The website, again, I think it's working pretty well, but there is a button on there that says for feedback. So if you see an issue with the website or a problem with it, please let us know. And if you have an idea or a suggestion about what you would like to see on the website, let us know too. If you leave your email, I will be getting back to you. I read everything. We try to put it in play. But if you leave your email, if it's not possible for some reason, I can tell you that too and explain to you. But we really want to improve it. Our personnel are really excited about the possibility of letting people know more because they really do. They've done this for a very long time. And the more that people know about it, the more that they can participate and be a part of everything that we do here. So that's all I wanted to say for the supervisor's announcements. And we're going to move on to the privilege of the floor. So the privilege of the floor is for agenda items only. And just a reminder that each speaker must wait to be recognized, only speak during the designated public comment section, state their name and address before speaking, must speak at the podium, must speak for no more than 3 minutes, only speak regarding town business, be brief and to the point, address comments to the board only, be respectful of all elected officials, town employees, members of the audience, and all other persons. And in order to ensure an orderly, productive meeting, residents will be heard before non-residents. Speakers will speak in entirely, then will be addressed by the board. So would anybody like to speak on any agenda item? Any resident first? Anybody else? Okay, so then we're going to move on to resolutions and motions. We don't have any this evening. Public Works, Sue?
No report.
Thank you. And Sue for finance?
Authorization for the town board to approve payment in the amount of $45 to Hancock Estabrook LLP for outside counsel fees for professional services rendered through February 28, 2025.
Thank you. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn, for motioning, and thank you, Robert, for seconding. Sorry, we just try to help with the minutes. And then, is there any discussion? Okay, so we're gonna move, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And it's carried unanimously.
9.2,
Thank you.
authorization for the town board to approve payment in the amount of $7,091 to Coughlin and Gerhart LLP for outside counsel fees for professional services rendered through February 28, 2025. The services are as follows. $986. CP Vestal LLC and RPNY Solar 8 LLC versus the Town of Vestal. 6,105. Article 78 proceeding.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, and thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And do we have any discussion? Okay, so we move to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And it's carried unanimously.
9.3, authorization to pay $50 for Broome County Association of Towns Annual Association membership dues for 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And do we have any discussion? Okay, so we're gonna move to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you, and it's carried unanimously. And Sue, next section?
Personnel,
Yeah, thank you.
10.1, request to appoint Rajat Saha as Town Comptroller effective March 31, 2025 to fill the unexpired term of Nicholas Angeline. This term ends December 31, 2025. His annual rate of pay will be $105,000.
Thank you. So do we have motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And do we have any discussion? Okay, so we're gonna move to vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so any opposed? And it's unanimous. It's carried and unanimous.
10.2, authorization for Lincoln Ellis to hire Stephen Langland for the position of Building and Code Inspector at the CSE rate of $25.47 per hour, effective March 31, 2025. All town and civil service requirements are satisfied.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And do we have any discussion?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna move to a vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Thank you. So it's carried and it's unanimous. And Robert?
Request from Art Robinson, 11.1, request from Art Robinson, Building and Code Inspector for Town Board approval of a timber harvesting permit applied for by Wagner Hardwoods LLC. This is for property located at 269 Ross Hill Road, BCTM number 172.15-1-23-11.
Thank you. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And with that, go to discussion. So Glenn, did you follow up on?
Actually, I did. I went up
Mhm.
and looked at the property myself. Surveyed the entire area, looked at all the trees that had little red dots on them, just designating that tree was one to be removed. And they were very widely spread out. There was only one spot where it looked like there were some close enough together where three would fit into a room this size. I considered that relatively close because they were relatively large, but they were in the center of the property where people on the outsides, the outskirts, the residents would never even know whether they were there or not. So it was a very well done survey. Looks like it's good forest practice to keep the forest healthy. And I did visually confirm that it is good to not be clear cut, not anything else going in there. They're just doing forestry.
Okay, great. And you didn't feel it had a negative impact on their neighbors, right?
Not at all.
Okay, any other discussion? Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Mhm.
So we'll move for a vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so any opposed?
No.
Okay, so it's carried and it's unanimous, and thank you again.
11.2, authorization for Vestal Girls Softball and Vestal Little League to hold their opening day parade on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025 at 8:45 a.m. Leagues are requesting to have their parade staging area be in the town hall water department parking lots beginning at 8 a.m. due to construction in the Vestal School District Administration parking lot and athletic field area. The parade will take a different route this year, Front Street right on Main Street, left on Charles Street, left on Clayton Ave, and into Angelo Field. The leagues will be working with the police department for the support that is needed with road closures and traffic control during the parade. In the case of inclement weather, they are requesting Sunday, May 4th, 2025 as an alternate date.
Thank you. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And is there any discussion? And so we move for a vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Are there any opposed? Okay, so it's carried and it's unanimous. Thank you.
11.3, request from Vernon Myers, town engineer, for the town board to award the Vestal Rail Trail Phase 3 project to the low bidder, Herd Development LLC, contingent on approval of NYS DOT.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And discussion. So just, so this, Vern just asked that we make sure that we have in there contingent upon approval of the New York State DOT, because they still have some paperwork. But since that is in there, it is contingent upon that. So is everybody good for moving to a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Thank you. And it's carried and it's unanimous.
11.4, request from Vernon Myers, town engineer, for the town board to award the construction contract for North Main Street to the low bidder, Broom Bituminous. I suck at that word.
Bituminous.
Bituminous.
Took me a couple times too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Glenn. And do we have any discussion? Okay, so we'll move to a vote and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Thank you. And it's carried and it's unanimous. Okay, Sue, public safety?
12.1, request from Deputy Director of Emergency Management, Robert Hamilton, for the town board to approve the purchase of an antenna to replace one that snapped and broke due to weather conditions at the EOC. This antenna is the main line of long-distance communication for emergency management. The cost is $99.99 plus shipping, with a total not exceeding $120. It will be installed by Mr. Hamilton.
Okay, let's go for a discussion on this one. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And with that, let's discuss. So we have the exact dollar amounts. So we did a substitute motion. So you good with just putting it in and substituting? Yeah, it doesn't. Hold on. I have a lot of sections in my notes. Okay, so we, because we have the exact dollar amounts, yeah, it's over.
Go through the whole thing, or just because it falls between 99 and 120?
Well, we have the specific information, so I would go with the specific information.
So we have to amend that.
Yeah, so,
So I
So
move
can we have
to
a-
amend this to whatever amounts you read.
let me read the proposed amendment and then we can
And-
motion to amend it
For that amount.
and then vote on the amending and then vote on the motion. Correct?
Yeah, if you want to.
Mhm.
Want to do that.
You want to just substitute the dollar amount?
Well, it's not to exceed 120 right now.
Well, yeah,
Right.
because 140, it's more than that.
Let's move.
Oh.
Yeah, It does, yes, did I speak?
I thought you said it didn't exceed.
Yeah, no, so that's what I'm saying, it's just easier to substitute it because that's the name of the,
It is.
Yeah.
Make a motion.
so, yeah, it's $146.86. Not that much more, but it is technically, it is more.
It was how much? 100 and what?
$146.86.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I just rewrote it. So can we let me propose and then we can motion to amend it and then we can vote on the amendment. So to amend it to say instead, in substitution, Authorization for the town board to approve payment in the amount of $146.86 to Borsig Electronics for renewal of the Town of Vestal FCC radio license. So it has a specific name and it also has a specific amount. And the cause, which is the FCC radio license renewal.
Um,
Mhm.
the antenna and the license are not the same thing.
Okay,
I think the antenna was,
You want to keep it as it is, leaving out the cost of $99 plus shipping. And
So-
total not to exceed and put in the amount of
Mhm.
146.86.
Okay, so it's the antenna is separate from this, so we'll go
yeah,
with
the
this
antenna
resolution
is
and
not
then
the
we'll do it on
same
a
as the
separately.
FCC license.
Okay, we don't have the exact dollar amount on the antenna? Don't worry about it. We can just vote on this. Do we
Okay,
know that it's not in
I
excess
did-
of 120?
I did send it, but I don't remember what it is now.
Okay, is
uh,
it less than 120?
I believe so, but
Yeah, so we'll. put it-
yes,
we'll-
that's
we'll
under
put
new
it in
business.
But
Yeah, we'll put it in the new business. I'll give you my copy. So that you'll have the exact one. So,
what has nothing to do with the antenna.
Has nothing to do with the antenna.
Okay.
Um,
so we'll do the antenna first and then we're doing the renewal. in a second.
can we come back to this and I'll look this up while we're continuing through?
Yeah, well,
Sure.
that is further down.
Right, but I
Okay.
do someplace have the exact amount of the
Yes,
antenna, I believe.
we can return to this and we can amend it to make it something that would not say a dollar amount specifically if need be. How about that? So
Well,
we'll
why
give it
don't
a
we do
couple
that?
minutes and we'll come back to this before we leave.
Okay,
So we're gonna move on, and then after, when we get to new business, hopefully we'll get the answer, go back and.
I'll
we'll-
find it. Well,
Okay,
is anybody else reading? Yes, okay.
okay,
So I'll move on to 12.2.
okay.
Request
yes,
from
thank you.
Stace Kintner, Police Chief, for town board approval to sell a retired police vehicle, 2019 Chevy Tahoe with 100,934 miles. The vehicle needs mechanical repairs and has been removed from service. It will be sold via public auction in as-is condition.
We'll come back. Okay.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So we're taking away the motion from Miller and Green on the approval of the antenna.
Sorry, we're just clarifying. So,
Because we motioned,
I will
we
second
were
the motion.
discussing it.
Yeah.
Then you talked about amending it. So are we just going to approving this one first? Then
So-
going to that, because that hasn't changed.
yeah, we're holding in
Okay.
abeyance, we're
Yes.
return that, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, just for clarification's sake, 12.1, which is the antenna. We're holding in abeyance, we're coming back to this before we leave.
Okay.
Okay,
We're gonna
and
get it done today.
and 12.2, Rob,
We're just looking for the
motion.
exact dollar amount if possible, just to make sure it doesn't exceed the 120. And I apologize. So Sue, you motioned, right?
no, Rob Green
Oh.
motioned and Glenn Miller seconded.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. And so, and this was for the Chevy Tahoe. Very good. So is there any discussion on this? Sorry. Okay, thank you. So we're gonna move to a vote on 12.2. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and so it is carried and is unanimous. And we're gonna return to the other one in a couple minutes. So Robert, administration.
13.1, request from Daniel Williams, IT Director, for authorization for a budget transfer of $16,902 to replace outdated servers that are starting to fail. Transfer will cover the cost of the hardware. The implementation will be done internally with no additional costs.
Thank you. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded. We can't get to discussion until we second.
Okay.
I guess I'll second my own
Okay,
item here.
thank you. Thank you, Robert. Okay, so we move to discussion. So after investigation, which is what we said on Monday, need to address it because it's on the agenda. So, so the funds that he was trying to pull it from, that is, already earmarked funds, so that's not going to be possible. So we're going to talk to him about other possibilities moving forward, and we're going to go back over whether this is a necessary update or not. And then if so, then we have to decide where the funding is coming from. It can't come from that line. That's already earmarked. I talked to Dan already. I let him know. But we can talk about it for the next set of meetings. Okay? So I propose that we table it. But we need to vote. Or we need to decide what to do with it.
Well,
So-
if you table it, then we don't vote on it.
Okay?
Well,
She wants to vote on the table. She wants a motion second on the.
Oh, to
On table.
table.
Table it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Okay,
apologize.
so
So I'll make the motion to table it.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Glenn. And do we have a second to table it?
Seconded.
Thank you. And I think that's automatic, correct, Dan? Or are we all good with tabling it?
Oh.
All those in favor of tabling it?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And Sue? Aye. Thank you. And any opposed? Thank you. And so we're tabling it and that is unanimous. Okay, but we'll revisit it. We just need the time to look at the actual project itself and then the necessity and then find funding for it. So, okay, so then we're gonna move on to,
13.2, resolve to approve the town supervisor signing an engagement letter and authorization to transfer files with Bond, Schronek and King PLLC regarding cases involving police personnel matters.
thank you. So do we have a motion?
So moved?
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded. Thank you, Sue. Do we have any discussion? Okay, so with that, we're gonna move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's
You
carried.
were an aye, correct?
I didn't have my mic on. I'm sorry.
Two at the same time, just want to make sure.
No, thank you, and that's why I'm trying to.
Yep.
I don't know how you did it on just the tape all this time, so thank you. So it's carried and it's unanimous. So with that, we're gonna move on to the receive and file.
Okay, warrants 2025. 12. A, 12G, 12C, 12M, 12T. A is prior year weekly general. 12G is weekly general operating. 12C is weekly capital. 12M is medical. 12T is weekly FSA, which is the flexible spending account. And then we have a certificate of no referendum for sale of property, Broome County Tax Map number 158.09-1-9.1, 239 Town of Binghamton, liquor license, The Wine Cellar. And those were all received this week, or over
Okay.
the past 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you. And so we don't have any petitions and protests. We don't have any old business, but we do have new business. Okay, so 16.1 is authorization to compensate the highway department for the $206.51 disposal fee that they incurred after assisting the police department with the removal of 4,280 pounds of refuse removed from the homeless encampment in Castle Gardens. So, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And do we have any discussion? Absolutely.
It is not, I spoke with
Mhm.
the chief, it's not Castle Gardens, it's it's a vacant, there's two camps.
Mhm.
Castle Gardens is still active.
Mhm.
It's the vacant land
Okay,
that was completely vacant.
okay. So for clarification, let's,
So it's,
yeah, to move to amend to for accuracy. Yeah, I know there's one still pending.
Because the
they're
Castle
working on.
Gardens,
So why don't we amend it to, may I suggest, homeless encampment period? Just remove the in Castle Gardens
sure.
Want to say vacant home,
from the,
I mean, I just don't know if you want vacant homeless. I mean, that's.
yeah, just in
Yeah.
the homeless encampment,
Okay.
okay? They're working on a second one. So thank you. No, I appreciate it. Okay, motion to amend and remove what you see in front of you, remove in Castle Gardens. So, can I have a motion to amend it?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And all in favor of amending it?
Aye.
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 Any opposed amending it? Great. So now let's vote on the amended version. I'm getting better. So the full amended version, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Second.
Okay,
Oh,
if
sorry.
we can go
motion.
backwards, all motions.
Thank you, Sue. Okay, spoke too fast.
Glenn will
Um,
second, right?
Second.
Glenn
Thank you,
seconds.
Sue, and Glenn seconded, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we got it passed. And just our thanks to both our police officers, and Stace and our highway department for helping them out, to ensure that our residents are safe and that our quality of life conditions are addressed appropriately. So thank you for all of their work, and clearly 4,280 pounds of refuse. So, and the second one, so let's move on to this, then we're gonna go back to the previous one, okay? That we skipped, and if we don't, we'll amend it to something that,
We're gonna have to amend it because I can't find it and pay attention to the.
So we're
meeting
gonna
agenda.
amend it. That's fine. So let's do this last one, number 2, which is authorization for the town board to approve payments in the amount of $146.86 to Warsic Electronics for renewal of the town of Vestal FCC radio license. Okay, so this is a license. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue. And seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. Any discussion? Okay, and with that, let's move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so that is carried and is carried unanimously. Thank you. Okay, now let's go back to the other one. So we are going back to 12.1, so we need to amend it to either make a higher dollar amount, or let's just remove the dollar amount in it.
Let's just remove the dollar amount.
Okay.
It wasn't excessive, but I don't.
Yeah, it's a smaller amount. So if there's anything, if it becomes a larger amount, then we will
it back.
reconsider. Fair enough?
Yes.
Everybody okay with that?
Okay.
Okay, so let's, why don't we amend it to, the second sentence says, this antenna is the main line of long distance communication for emergency management. Let's just leave that.
And
And then remove the cost is $99.99 plus shipping, with the total not exceeding $120. It will be installed by Mr. Hamilton. We'll just remove that.
The whole thing.
Yeah. we can
Okay.
do-
Controlled by Mr. Hamilton as well.
No, we'll just thank
Oh.
him.
Are
Yeah, we can
just doing the amount. We're
Yeah,
giving
we
Mr.
could just-
Hamilton
Yeah,
Oh.
no, we can remove the whole sentence, or do you want to
Okay.
leave Mr. Hamilton?
are we leaving Mr. Hamilton in there?
Okay, so, this antenna is the main line of long distance communication for emergency management, and it will be installed, and it will
Correct.
be installed by Mr. Hamilton.
Okay.
Okay.
And it will be installed by Mr. Hamilton. Okay, I'll read the whole thing again. Okay, so we're gonna motion to amend it as follows. To read, request from Deputy Director of Emergency Management, Robert Hamilton, for the town board to approve the purchase of an antenna to replace one that snapped and broke due to weather conditions at the EOC. This antenna is the main line of long-distance communication for emergency management, and the antenna will be installed by Mr. Hamilton. Good? Okay, so do we have a motion to amend it?
So moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert. And any discussion about the amendment?
No.
Okay, so we move to a vote on amending it. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed to the amending? Okay, so now we're gonna vote on the whole amended version. So do we have a motion?
So
So
moved.
Oh,
Thank you, Glenn, and seconded.
Seconded.
I don't know who, it's not Jeopardy, so I'm going to say Robert. Thank you. And so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so it's unanimous and it's carried. Okay, so that's all our votes for this evening. Thank you very much for your cooperation. And thank you, Deborah, for your patience. So we're just going to move on to supervisors' announcements, and these are the general announcements. So I'm very happy to announce that Patrick Harnan, our recreation director, has listened to our residents in their requests. So this coming November, November 22nd, there will be a mother-son dance. There has always been a father-daughter dance, which is wonderful, and I attended this year and everybody enjoys it. And now a lot of mothers had written in and said, we would like fair time. We would like a mother-son dance. And so Patrick looked around to find a venue and a date. And so the mother-son dance will be November 21st from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Riverdale in Enwell. So I want to thank Patrick for all his work. He scrambled and he found a very nice place to have it and to arrange food and all of that. And I want to thank those residents who emailed us and said that this is really what they wanted. So so we listened, and he listened, and he worked very hard, and now we're going to put it together. So it will be on the website with further details and the ability to sign up for it. And just a reminder to every resident, the father-daughter dance pays for itself. So the ticket price pays for the food, it pays for the venue, it pays for everything. It is only at their expense and with the coordination of the recreation personnel, but it does not cost any other residents anything. It's just a great event. And mother-son dance, hopefully it will be the same thing. So we want to put it out there as much as possible. If anybody is interested, please contact the recreation department and they'll give you more details. But I want to thank Patrick for listening and really working hard. So the second thing is vendor registration is open for the 2025 Vestal Festival. And that's going to be held on Saturday, June 7th. And again, our recreation department is coordinating. So if you are interested in being a vendor there, please contact our recreation department at vestalrecreation.com. And we will have something on the website about it, or you can go to their website and look up more information. So thank you to them again for all their work. And the Vestal Youth Academy will be held Monday through Friday, July 7th to 11th for middle school students and July 14th to 25th for high school students. For an application, please contact SRO Tutkin. Did I say it right?
Tukin, yes.
Tukin, thank you, at mtukin@vestalny.gov, which is MTUETKEN@vestalny.gov, or call 607-221-5493. All school districts are welcome, and I want to thank Stace, all the volunteers, all the police officers that are involved, and I know Sue is involved every year, but everybody who works so hard to make it happen, and they just do an incredible job. So we will have more information on the website, but they have it. You can email Officer Tukin direct to get more information if you would like. A burn ban, and the last thing is a burn ban is in effect through May 14th due to the increased risk of wildfires. And as we know, wildfires have occurred in other areas and they are devastating when they occur. So please be careful. So that's all the answers for this evening. Committee chairs and comments. Does any committee chair wish to speak? Yes, Sue.
I just want to say that the town board, along with various departments, will be a part of an emergency operations drill on April 2nd at 6 p.m. This is a drill to familiarize everyone with all the individuals they'd be involved in an emergency, so everybody has information, steps, and familiarity with each other. So,
Thank you. And just so the public knows, it's a run through for us. It does not have an impact on the public, but it's to make sure that we, if God for something major happens, that we're ready to go and we're to help to coordinate. And so it's basically a scenario for us. It is not a public event. It does not have an impact on the public, so you don't have to worry about seeing emergency vehicles or anything, but it is hugely important to be prepared. So all of our departments prepare all the time in case of emergency. And the more that we prepare, the more it runs smoothly, whether the event be big or small. So we hope we never need to do it, but if we do, we will be ready. So with that, Robert, you have anything? So we move to public comments. So this is the final section where any member of the public may speak. And just a reminder, each speaker must wait to be recognized, only speak during the designated public comment section, state their name and address before speaking, speak at the podium, speak for no more than 3 minutes, only speak regarding town business, be brief and to the point, address comments to the board only, be respectful of all elected officials, town employees, members of the audience, and all other persons. And in order to ensure an orderly, productive meeting, residents will be heard before non-residents and speakers will speak in entirety, then will be addressed by the board. So does any resident wish to speak? Okay, and I think everybody's a resident. So any non-resident? Okay, and with that, we don't have anything further. So can I have a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Thank you, Sue, and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you, Robert, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And thank you. Thank you, and that's a conclusion of our meeting. Thank you for coming. Okay.